everybody. Megan, and I have my trusty assistant Fabio here today from BodyWise, and I want to share with you today another practice from the art and science of being me. This is another breaking barriers practice that is in the category of heart and hip opening. Thank you very much. So this is another one. Again, when we think about how we embody our stress, we come forward, we round, we curl up, we protect ourselves. Not to mention that life is in front of us. Everything we're doing, from cooking to driving to being at a desk, it's all very forward. So between not being like, oh, it's so stressful, and living forward, we tend to get really restricted in this upper back and in the hip area. And so what often happens is in the thoracic area, so that's this space from the bottom of your neck to about here, and we get stuck in this slightly rounded position. And that may or may not hurt you. A lot of times you might have discomfort in your shoulders, but what happens is then your head has to come forward. So we can't correct the head without really correcting all of the foundation under it. So we really need to work on opening up this thoracic area. So this one today is called a double ball mobilization. We're going to use these two lacrosse balls that are kind of melted together. You can find these on Amazon. And they're going to work as a fulcrum under your upper back to create some mobilization. It would almost be like somebody was doing like a little bit of some pressure or manipulation on your back. I will share that this can feel intense or sometimes a little bit uncomfortable. I promise you it becomes people's favorites. It's a real game changer. Again, as we're doing any of these practices and we're focusing on increasing the mobility in our bodies, we're increasing our flexibility. These are not just exercises, they're metaphoric in the sense that we're creating flexibility in our life. We're creating the ability to be stable in our life. We're creating strength in our life because we are embodying that. So this is what it looks like. You take the double balls and you're going to set them behind your upper back. So I'm going to reach back to below my neck and in my upper back. So as I lay back, you're landing right here. So I'm right at the top of my shoulder blades below my neck. And you can see if I just lay down, my head is going to hang really far back. You don't want that. So I'm going to use a yoga block. This is what a 3-inch block looks like here. Okay? So when I'm on the 3-inch block, it gets my chin so that I'm close to my chest. And I can fit my hand under my fist. You really want to make sure that this idea of holding onto an apple maintains there. So if your chin comes forward and you would imagine you'd be dropping an apple, you really need to get your head higher. So you're lengthening your neck at the same time. For the first couple of these, we're going to do them maybe 4 or 5 spots in your upper back. For the first couple, you're going to start with your hands on your forehead. The reason is, if I put my hands down by my side, my body curls away and I really don't feel the balls. But if I put my hands on my forehead, then it starts to put some pressure up there. I can feel that pressure just in my upper back. Again, avoiding pain in the actual shoulders. And after you're here for a minute or so, you'll move to the next spot. And you're going to do that by lifting the yoga block, scooching about 1 inch, and then resting back down. So now they're a little bit lower in my back and making sure that they're even, side to side. Again, I think I'm going to put my hands here. That feels like that's the best option for me to get a nice amount of pressure. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go to the next spot. By this time, I can take my hands down by my side. And this is going to begin to not only put pressure in my back, but it's starting to really give me a nice stretch in my chest. Similar to the snow angel, if you've ever done that. So all you really have to do is rest here for a couple of minutes. Then you're going to do the same thing again. You lift the block, you push a little bit, you're in the next spot. Arms come out to the side. Again, you're watching out for not arching this part of your lower back, making sure that that stays not flattened down, but in a neutral position. And if that feels really hard for you to do, what might be easier is if you put your feet up on something. So if I set this up so that my feet were against a wall or a couch, that would tend to kind of bias my back into a little bit more stable and flat position, and it will make me actually feel these balls more. So you're going to do this from about this level to where your ribs come together and you move back here. So you do not want to do it in your lower back. and you want to stay above. You can feel uncomfortable or you can feel like pressure in your back. You should not feel vulnerable at this spot where your upper back meets your lower back. Okay? So again, this can be a wonderful practice to help you really unlock and unwind from some chronic embodied stress and tension, because when we change the shape of our bodies, how we're moving our bodies, our flexibility, our strength, it changes how we feel, it changes how we move in the world, and it shifts our nervous system. So thanks very much, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.